Wright, a freak athlete.
Sweet little boy, typical little boy.
Y'all call him Chris Wright, I call him Sea Monster, because he's just a beast.
He was the angel. This is the precious thing ever growing up.
Funny character, high flyer, nice personality, NBA caliber type player.
Up over the top of actor, and you're going to see that one countrywide.
He has a grounding that I have never seen in a young man in a long time.
He's one of the hardest workers I've ever seen.
I've never heard a bad thing about him.
He's willing to help people get better every day on the court, off the court. Chris ran for mayor, he would get it.
From here in Dayton, I know that means a lot to him, representing his hometown, and I think he plays with that each and every game.
Right here, I used to live right there on the end, right there. I remember climbing that tree, trying to climb that tree and stuff when I was younger, but that's where I grew up at, in that house right there on the corner. Yeah, man, right here, 1988 is where I was born. Just urban, typical urban area. I'm at the barbershop right now. Everybody know T-Bone.
Well-rounded guy, come from a tough neighborhood. Many kids didn't really really make it that far. He took a different path to really, pursue his dreams in another area, and not hang out, but he's doing what he has to do. And my cell phone is ringing. I can't talk right now. Let me call you back, man. Okay.
Have you met his mom? Have you talked to his mom? She's the reason why. The sacrifices she's made for him and Bam and Nick and all the other sons.
So she's definitely done a lot to push her babies.
I remember when I was head coach here, she was she's the one person that was always behind you, always backed you up. And she wasn't afraid to say what was on her mind either.
You know what I'm going to do for you. I love you. If I call y'all one more time, y'all will be running past the camera.
What's up, Max?
My mom had 10 kids, she adopted 5, and she had 5 boys of her own. And I'm just hungry because when you was in the house, if you didn't eat at a certain time, you ain't gonna get no food because it was pretty much all boys in the house. And
Very close, very hardworking, very supportive family. They're there for not only Chris and his friends, but other people that come into their lives.
This is my house. Probably like 45 million people here, but this is how it always been my whole life. Starting out with my mama right there.
Everybody knows that it's hard just having a single mom raising with 10 kids, and just he has that hunger. I've never seen it like nobody else. He has that hunger, that will to learn, and he's constantly driven. So
head up, let's go.
My mom, she's a very strong-willed person, and she always taught me never give up. And the gifts that I got, they're from God. Anything that you do, you just can't say, I did this, I did that. You got to thank God after every time you do something, every time you get an accomplishment. And you also got to thank him for the downfalls because it makes you stronger.
This gets the Armand back to Chris. Oh, my goodness. Sakes alive.
You can start seeing it. When you got about the 5th, 6th grade, you can start seeing that he was a little different than most kids, had more hops than most of the guys that we had around us.
I broke this one. This is when I was younger. I don't know, I was about 8 or 9. Yeah, I broke this one too, right here. That's when I knew I had bounce right there. When I broke that one.
Trying to get inside Chris Bryant. Oh my goodness gracious, sakes alive! Chris Bryant with the reverse on the other side of the rim. Dunk. Woo! That's some Mick Creek nasty on you. Hey, all you can say is woo!
Y'all be like, how you run up and down the court so fast all the time? But what y'all don't know is, we used to watch this movie called Candyman. And he'd be over our house. Then his mom would call and be like, Chris, get your butt home. Man, yeah, I used to fly my bike down through here, man. It's crazy. As soon as he take for one step out the door, we'd be like, Candyman coming. And he just take off running around the corner. Just crying like,
mean, you couldn't see from here to that car right there. It was dark around the corner. So if he had to do it, he'd have been crying too. It's just he lived there, so he didn't have to leave.
I wasn't scared again.
So he wouldn't have been scared. You was scared. Oh, would you?
That's how you got fast, though. That's how you get up and down the court.
Yeah, man, this on gym right here, man. We shot this thing rocking.
Athlete of the month, athlete of the week.
We on top, never underrated. We on top, never underrated. Here in Trotwood, home of the Rams.
Rockville Falls, athlete of the month.
Penn Station athlete of the month. He's averaging over 20 points per game this season.
He's also doing really well in the classroom. He has a 3.6 grade point average.
One thing about him that I remember to stick out the most is he never wanted to lose.
I met Chris Wright when he was in high school, and I was amazed at that point how down to earth he was. Because a lot of times you're challenged as a young man or a young woman as an athlete that people build you up, and Chris had this tremendous reputation.
Wonderful, wonderful person. He always been a gentleman, and I just love him to death. You hang in there, and God bless you. I love you. I love you.
Love you too. Hey, we got the same birthday too.
Exactly. We got your age. That's right. Chris, that's right.
You know, he was a top prospect for any team. He could have played anywhere.
So then, when we got all the colleges, we put pros and cons together. You know, I didn't just say, well, I'm going to make the decision for you. We put all the pros of going to all the different colleges.
The kid is a tremendous athlete, and he's such a hard worker. He's only going to get better.
Involved with one of the top 20 juniors in the country.
The nation's top schools still want Wright and continue to talk to him.